It's Tuesday, the 20th of May 2031, 3 days after Dortmund's Bundesliga winning victory against Stuttgart. Yep, that's right, we beat Bayern to the title by 1 point on the final day. Adeyemi, though, is unhappy. He is disappointed that we've broken our promise to play youth players. I think that's a little harsh. Alex Keats came off the bench 4 times. Kaminski made 1 substitute. Okay, maybe he's got a point. But this isn't actually a bad thing. Adeyemi had a fantastic season, but he is 29 years old. And the rules of Moneyball are quite clear. Move people on before they decline in value, so if you don't want to play for this club, Karim, I'm certainly not going to keep you around. No offers after a week, eh? Everton aren't prepared to meet the asking price and only want to pay £48.5 million. This could be a long summer, but I promise you it'll be worth it, my excellent friends, because next season, Stuart Ward is winning the Champions League. Before we get stuck into the most amazing summer transfer window of all time though, let's take a look back at the finest season in Borussia Dortmund's history. Well, certainly the finest one for a very, very long time. I, of course, have been playing as director of football, so Stuart Ward was brought in as our assistant manager to take charge of the team on match days. Tactics, team selection, coaching, all his bag, not mine. I simply looked after the transfers, and what success we had! A+ rating from the board, better goal difference than every other team in the division, a memorable 4-2 victory away at Leipzig, a 10-0 victory away in the Cup, and despite a lot of revenue being down because of the previous season's underperformance, we sold a lot of shirts. 6 of my signings in the season's best 11, Cerner in goal, Saltor at left back, Dusdag and Rogan in the centre with Marquez on the right of defence, McNish and Luis in the centre of midfield with Warner. Oh, Paul Warner, one of the greatest players I've ever seen in FM history. Strykens and Aspiensen on the wings and Adeyemi up front. Third favourites to win the Bundesliga, but we broke the club's record points total, 83 points and 1 Bundesliga trophy in the bag. And the good news just keeps on coming. Warner sets a new average rating record for the entire Bundesliga. Strykens' 15 assists is a Bundesliga record. Warner gets Players' Player of the Year and joint top scorer in the Bundesliga for good measure. Rogan and Cerner both on the list for Newcomer of the Year. And of course, the manager of the season, Stuart Ward. 6 of our players in the Bundesliga's best 11. Just amazing! And here, my excellent friends, is our first move in the transfer market in our final summer as the director of Moneyball. Marcel Kurz, £74 million offer to meet his release clause. He is an exceptional world-class player and would come in just as good as Rogan at the centre of defence. Because my plan is simple, I have to build a Champions League winning squad. We've done the Bundesliga, we've done the Premier League with Everton. This final season is all about the big one. And our European competition is also making some major moves. Manchester City have offered up to 164 million for Dubravka, a player who looks really good, probably on a par with Kurz, so we're getting the good deal there. And Newcastle up to £108 million for Frederick Kerbrat, who is a top quality attacking player. He's also world class, just as good as Warner. But don't worry, my excellent friends, because I have a plan, and it's a plan you are going to love. Endrick, he will be mine. But despite my current transfer budget, having reshuffled the wage budget around, I do still need to sell a couple of players to free up the relevant funds. It's now the middle of June and we have received a £50 million offer from Tottenham for Karim Adeyemi. Wolfsburg also offering the same amount, but of course we're not going to sell to a Bundesliga rival. Let's accept Tottenham's offer and reject all the rest. And the biggest summer in Dortmund's history is off with a bang. Kurz, our 20-year-old wonderkid central defender, is joining us on the 1st of July. What a beginning. Unfortunately, one has been injured while on international duty with Austria, out for 3 to 4 weeks. sprained ankle ligaments could become an ongoing injury, but hopefully not. Worth noting though, as a reminder, as well as being director of football at Dortmund, I am also the director of England. Our old Everton assistant manager Anthony Clark overseeing a 3-0 victory against Algeria. And you know what? When we won the Premier League with Everton, I thought Anthony Clark would be the true legend of this save. But with my summer transfer plans, I fully intend to turn Stuart Ward into that legend. And I have a fantastic plan. Kurz is in. Hendrik, you know about. What I really need, the final missing piece, is a top-class goalkeeper. Penhoff, who we had at Everton, is out of our price range. Otto Laaksonen at Fulham, he is my top target. Very consistent, enjoys big matches, determined attitude, 4 stars, way better than our current goalkeepers. And I must say, entirely reasonable wage expectations given his current performance levels. We only have 22 million left though, so this will need to be a structured deal. And there we have it, an £83 million offer accepted. Only £15.5 million this season. The rest on instalments and 10% of the next sale, because to be honest, we're not going to be here. This is our final season. Who cares about what happens in the future? Now, we just need to sell Adeyemi so that we can sign Hendrik. And possibly someone else. Well, in true multitasking director of Moneyball fashion, on the eve of England's Nations League semi-final against France, Laaksonen is in! And that transfer will go through on the 1st of July. 2 mega signings before the transfer window's even opened. Just one striker and we are all good. Yes, I know about the don't buy strikers unless absolutely necessary rule, but it is the weakest area of my team and it's our final season, so let's go have some fun, eh? And you shouldn't just trust in my word that I know what I'm doing. Look at this. Jadon Bernal, Mario Stroikens and Gerard Rogan, the 3 best signings in the Bundesliga this season, all mine. And the good news continues. Anthony Clark's England beat France. We're playing Italy in the Nations League final. But sadly, that match doesn't quite go according to plan. Declan Rice and Reece James in the centre of defence. That's a right back and a central midfielder. I think, despite Anthony Clark's brilliance, this England squad still needs a fair bit of work. Dortmund's just needs a few finishing touches. Adeyemi is departing us for £50 million. 32 goals in all competitions last season, a 7.2 rating. But at 29, he is unlikely to improve. He is susceptible to injuries, so farewell Karim, you have served us well. We've also received a £30 million offer for Arda, who was suffering from cruciate ligament injury last season and barely played any football for us, so this one's an absolute no-brainer. And with those 2 outgoings, we can do this. A £90 million offer for Hendrik that may rise to £105 million. He's unsure about negotiating with us because he's currently a little more interested in Chelsea. So let's make him an offer he cannot refuse. I mean, this is crazy money, £275,000 a week, a whopping signing on fee, all of the money for all of the goals, but do you know what? This is a guy who might just win us the Champions League. As the opening day of the window fast approaches, Svenningsson is the subject of interest again. Constant interest in this player last season. But you know the Moneyball rules by now. It's only when I'm offered more than a player's market value that I have to accept. 6.8 is the upper limit here, so 5.2 minimum is just not going to cut it. And it's the 1st of July, my excellent friends. It's Transformation Day. Kurz and Laaksonen join, along with free transfer from Liverpool, Ben Doak, a top quality inverted winger on the right flank who can also play on the left. On loan at Celtic last season, scored 10 goals in the league and a 7.4 average rating. We now have 10 exceptional players in our squad. Arda bids farewell the same day too, and that frees up enough transfer budget to complete the signing of Hendrik. If I sound a little bit excited, that's because I am. That is my first ever A-rated transfer as far as the supporters are concerned. the great replacement for Karim Adeyemi. And even I'm struggling to believe this, but with Laaksonen, Rogan, Kurz, Warner and Endrick, we have more players in the media Dream 11 than Bayern Munich. Now, don't lose anyone for the rest of the summer. It's a shame there's this pesky thing called Rule 9, really, isn't it? A month later, the beginning of August, the day before the Super Cup against Bayern, we have 100%ed pre-season. Annoyingly, Endrick's picked up a knock and will not play in the Super Cup. The rest of the squad are all here though, everybody present and correct. And we're favourites for this. And speaking of favourites, 3 of our players are among the favourites to be named the best player in the Bundesliga this season. None of them are named Paul Warner, despite him setting a Bundesliga record last year. Kurz, Endrick and Rogan, the current favourites among our squad. And on the morning of the Super Cup, we get a Rule 9 offer for Juraj Toth. His guide price is up to £12 million. We've been offered 14.75 million. So there is no option I have to accept, which is a real shame actually. Currently a good Bundesliga player. I was hoping to give him some game time this season. But it's no good getting attached to players when we're playing with Moneyball rules. Toth will be on the move. So fitness tests against Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. Endrick might actually play. Can we get off to a winning start this year? No, it turns out we can't. A 4-0 defeat. Well, that is a crushing disappointment. Endrick started when he probably shouldn't, given he was injured the day before, and got a 6. And Laaksonen, cracking debut, 6.2. What an absolutely devastating start to the season. We've bought some of the best players that have ever played for me as the director of Moneyball. But it's just, is it going to be enough? Against a club like Bayern Munich. We managed to beat them last season in the league. Can we do it twice? Can we do it in the Champions League? Are these... Oh my goodness me. Kurz, our brand new signing, our star central defender, giving the ball away to create an opening for Bayern. And oh my goodness, have I bought some absolute bum players here? Please don't let that be the case. This is our year. But Bayern won the Champions League last year and they've just beaten us 4-0 in our first match of the season. Even Stuart Ward is hoping the players can keep their heads up and focus on the bigger picture. It would be a disaster if this affected us long term, and my word, he is absolutely right. And look who we have in our first match of the Bundesliga season, Bayer Leverkusen, who were champions of Germany just 2 seasons ago. 1 month till deadline day, still got £28 million and £400,000 a week of wage budget to play with. Maybe I'm not done in the transfer market after all. I've got a new plan.